Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Emerald Lake Books Live. I am Tara Alamani, and I am the founder of Emerald Lake Books. And so we've been bringing this to you. Would you believe this is episode 25? We started at the beginning of November with this and had no idea how long we were going to continue to do it. I committed to doing it for 3 months just to see how beneficial it was to people, and we get so much good feedback from everybody that we've just kept going with it. So I hope that you find this episode equally useful. We're going to talk today about book awards and the value of book awards, both for marketing your book, but also for building a business and brand. So let's talk a little bit first about the difference between trying to secure bestseller status versus an award-winning status. A lot of people, when they first launch their book, they're very interested in achieving a bestseller status. And unfortunately, with Amazon, it is fairly easy to game the system. So the way you do that is by choosing a subcategory that has very few sales taking place in it that's relevant for your book. And in some instances, depending on the category, you may only need 10 copies to secure the number one place in that category. So it may be that only 10 copies sell in a day, and yet you're still considered to be a bestseller. Now, when you compare that to the opposite end of the spectrum, where somebody goes for, say, a New York Times bestseller or a Wall Street Journal bestseller or USA Today bestseller, that's a totally different beast. And so what you're doing there is the data isn't just about sales within a given hour or a given day. The data is about sales at multiple locations across the span of a week and relative to all of the other titles that are for sale at the same time. And so as a result, in order to achieve that kind of bestseller status, you're talking about needing a very large marketing budget. You're talking about needing to have a significant number of sales, and it truly is then a bestseller. But on Amazon, lots of people can claim to be bestsellers and only sell, less than a dozen books. And so there's really not a lot of value to that term, in my opinion. Now, unless you can say that you're a Wall Street Journal or a New York Times or USA Today bestseller. Most of us aren't going to be able to make that claim, and yet many of us are able to claim we're bestsellers because Amazon makes it so easy for us. So what's the alternative if you want something to set your book apart from others? Well, at Emerald Lake Books, we believe that there's significant value in becoming an award-winning author. And I'm not talking about, popularity contest type awards. There are all sorts of awards out there. And so you have to really pay attention when you're looking at the details of the award as to how the contest is being run. In some cases, you'll find award competitions out there where they expect you to go get a bunch of people to vote for your book as being the bestseller or the best book in that particular category. And so it really comes down to a popularity contest. How many people can you go get to go out to their website and click on your title? And in the end, really what it is it's good for SEO for them, search engine optimization, because they have a lot of traffic on their website and it builds up their visibility. But it doesn't do a heck of a lot for your visibility because you're sending traffic that you already have to go vote for you. So you want to pay attention to book award competitions instead that are juried competitions. In other words, there are judges that are industry professionals, retailers, librarians, who are judging the quality of your book in comparison to the other books that are being submitted in that category. And when you have a juried award competition, those judges often are looking at it from a very professional standpoint. If they're a bookstore owner, they're looking at it in terms of, do I really think that I can sell this book in my store? Are people going to enjoy it? If it's a librarian, are my patrons going to check it out? Is it something that they really want to be reading? So they're looking at it much more from the standpoint of the quality of it, as well as its marketability. And so when you participate in a book award contest that's juried like that, it's actually adding a lot of credence to the quality of your book. And so you want to focus on that. Now, Emerald Lake Books has a couple of book award competitions that we really love that are juried competitions like that. One of them is of course, the Florida Authors and Publishers Association has their annual President's Book Award competition coming up soon. And so that is one that we definitely enjoy participating in and recommend to all of our authors. The unique thing about that particular competition is it's a juried award competition, Every book is judged by 3 different judges. And so as they're going through the books in that category, each book is looked at based on its own merit. And so each book is rated and scored on certain facets of the book's quality. And so what may end up happening is you may have no books that win the gold medal in a category because no books actually warranted that score, because they have a rubric that tells them, all right, scores of this on up receive this medal, scores in this area receive another one. And so you may end up with, 2 silver medals or 2 bronze medals in a category based on the scores that each book is given. But the book is looked at based on its own merit. And so it's not in competition. It's not compared against others in the category so much. It's not a matter of, I have to pick one or the other to be the gold medal winner and the other's the silver medal. And boy, how do I make the decision? If both of them score in their rubric with a score that warrants getting a gold medal, they get a gold medal. The other one that we really like is Reader's Favorite. Now, Reader's Favorite is a great outfit. So they're there. They provide free reviews of books if you need those, but they also have their annual awards competition as well. And within there, you may receive certain medals, or you may be recognized as a finalist, or you may receive an honorable mention. But there's a lot that this industry does. The Reader's Favorite does for authors in terms of visibility. Books are available on their website. Reviews are provided. All these different things that help promote the visibility of the book. So I highly recommend them. I'm actually going to post in the comments some other resources that you may want to take a look at when you have a moment, have a chance. BookBub recently did an article on the 30 different book award competitions that you should know about. And so you can go through those and kind of identify whether there are others that you want to participate in. But the reason that I'm highlighting the Florida Authors and Publishers, which is called FAPA, and Reader's Favorite, is because they currently have their upcoming book award submission deadline is coming up on April 30th. In addition, the Writer's Digest self-published book award deadline is coming up on May 1st. So that was one of the reasons I was originally, I had invited a guest to come on today. I asked him to come next week instead so that I could talk to you a little bit about book awards while these deadlines were still out there, and something that you could still submit to if you wanted to. Now, for every book that you look at, every competition that you look at, you want to make sure that you go through the specifics for that competition in terms of what are they looking for. Some competitions are looking for self-published books. Some are looking for traditionally published books. Some are looking for unpublished manuscripts in the hopes of maybe finding the next great book that they want to publish. So you need to pay attention to the details. Oftentimes there is an entrance fee for these awards, and they vary in terms of how much they may cost. And oftentimes a book may be submitted to more than one category. So you just want to kind of look through each book award competition that you're considering submitting to, and pay attention to which categories are the ones that are most suitable for your book, and how many categories do you really want to submit to. Sometimes I will submit to 2 categories within a given competition just to increase my chances of winning in one category or another. Different sets of judges will look at them, and therefore the scores will be different based on whose eyes are on it. So that's something to keep in mind as you go along. So what are the advantages of ultimately ending up with an award? There's that thrill of the moment when you're sitting there waiting for the announcement to take place, and you hear, and the winner is, I know the IBPA's Ben Franklin Awards has gone online. So if you want to actually see what that's like, I recommend attending that. That's going to be May 5th through 7th, I believe it is. And if you go to the IBPA's website, you'll see how to sign up for the award ceremony there. But it's really intense when you're sitting there and you're listening and you're waiting to see, is my name going to be called? Is my book's title going to be shown? How did this all play out? But there's a lot more besides that excitement of hearing your name said. Thankfully, many of our Emerald Lake Books authors have had that experience of being able to listen and hear their name called out and be presented with a medal or a plaque when their book has been recognized. But there are other things that you can be doing with that then, because suddenly your bio becomes, you are an award-winning author. Your book is an award-winning title. The press releases that you put out. It gives an opportunity to put out a press release about the fact that your book has won an award and how it was recognized. It also allows you to update your sell sheet, which is that one-page flyer that you can send to retailers and librarians to tell them about your book. And if you let them know that this is an award-winning title, there's a certain level of trust that suddenly comes when somebody sees that there's award-winning recognition for the title and for your work. The other thing that we will often do is take what's called the seal. It is the image of the medal that has been awarded, and we will incorporate it into our cover designs so that whenever the book is printed, it goes out with that medallion on it so that people see that this is an award-winning book. Now, when you're looking for books on Amazon and you see an entire screen filled with thumbnail images of covers of books that you might be interested in reading, your eye is always drawn to those that have an award seal on them. So it's great for increasing visibility, and once again, it establishes trust that there's quality in this book, that it's something worthwhile taking a look at. We also oftentimes will update our book listing descriptions to include what awards have been won, so that once again it lowers the bar of resistance for somebody who doesn't know this author, doesn't know this book series or book itself, to decide, hey, do I want to take a chance on this? So there's a lot of different marketing advantages in terms of book sales. But the other thing too is that if you happen to be using your book as part of building a business, or as part of establishing yourself as a thought leader, or securing more speaking engagements, having that ability to be able to say you're an award-winning author sets you apart then as well from others who may be competing for the same attention. And so it used to be, event planners would tell you, if they had a choice between two speakers for an event, and one had a book and the other did not, they would be more likely to go with the one with the book. At this point in time, so many speakers have books that now you need to raise the bar a little bit. You need to find another thing to differentiate yourself from other people that are competing for the same speaking engagement that you may be. And so being able to make the claim of being an award-winning speaker helps, once again, alleviate that status of yours, so that people will borrow the trust of somebody else saying that your content is worthwhile. So there's some great benefits to being able to submit your book to book awards, especially if you happen to win. Then you can leverage that in ways that will allow you to set yourself apart from other people and other book titles. If you have any interest in exploring the opportunity of having us work with you on what may be your award-winning book, we would love to have a conversation with you. Just contact us at our website, which is emeraldlakebooks.com. And I wanted to let everybody know that all of these Emerald Lake Book Lives episodes have been archived on our YouTube channel. So in addition to being able to find them on the Emerald Lake Books Facebook page, you can also find them if you go to terrasadvice.com. That will take you directly to our YouTube channel, where you can see the entire library of different episodes that we have, as well as some other content that we have there as well. And next week's guest will be Lionel Binney. And so we're going to focus more on business than on books next week. Lionel is one of our authors, but Lionel's expertise is in omni-channel retail, omni-channel marketing, which is really understanding consumer expectations and how to be present in front of them, so that they can engage with your product, your service, your company as they anticipate being able to do. And we figured with all of the changes going on with the pandemic right now, a lot of us have had to kind of shift and reboot and figure out how we're going to connect with our consumers in a better way. And so we're going to pick Lionel's brain a little bit and see what recommendations he has for shifting gears during this time, so that we all can remain effective in what we do and in providing the services and the products that we do for the people that need them. So that is it for today's episode of Emerald Lake Books Live. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found value in this, and certainly take a look at the comments on the Emerald Lake Books page posting for this video. I have linked to the various different book award competitions and deadlines that I mentioned, as well as the book club article. You can find them all there. And until next week, have a great weekend.